Hi, welcome back to Victim Services Nippising District's series on online threats and financial abuse. This section is on romance scams. A romance scam is a situation where an individual um, can be uh, lured into financial losses based on a promise of companionship or love. So most often these involve online relationships. They involve not necessarily meeting the partner, and then they quickly escalate into you loaning or sending money to that partner. So we're going to share a video here. This is somebody that I knew in the community, and it's a very sad situation, but it's very important to learn from. So
Cost more than Canadians lost more than $22 million to romance fraud in 2018, and it's a crime that officials say is vastly underreported.
The perpetrators typically try to meet someone using dating websites and then over time start asking for money. Pat Foran has one victim story on Consumer Alert. Pat.
Well, Nathan and Michelle, an Oshawa man, says after his wife died, he tried online dating. He met a woman and says over a period of 4 years, he gave her $300,000, and now he's afraid he will lose his home. Walter Zutel uses a wheelchair due to a spinal cord injury. He was married for 13 years and says he was heartbroken when his wife Laura died in 2010.
When they tell you that you've met your soulmate, she was definitely my soulmate.
Zutel says after a few years, he decided to try online dating to meet someone.
I knew I was never going to find another person like my wife, but I missed that companionship, the person to talk to, to laugh with when you're having good times and talk to when you're having sad times.
He met a woman who said she was a former personal support worker, and after 6 months of chatting online, they agreed to meet.
When you're in a wheelchair and you find somebody you think that's not in a wheelchair that finds you attractive, you think you've basically hit the gold mine.
Before long, he says she started asking for money.
Gradually, she started asking for money for this and for that. It was little things, and gradually the amounts got more and more.
Zutel says over a period of 4 years, he bought her a car, paid for several operations, and kept sending her money until he was almost completely broke. Zutel says he was financially independent and never had any money problems until he met the woman through the online dating website, and now he's terrified he could lose this home.
Over total, I'm in debt over $300,000 now. Like, the house is remortgaged, my credit cards are maxed out, I've got 3 lines of credit.
Now he's not sure where the woman is. She no longer returns his calls or emails.
I told her, I said, I need this money back. It's like I can't just keep giving you this money.
Zutel says he may only be a month away from losing his house.
I'm scared, I'm upset, I'm sad. I cried myself to sleep almost every night. Like I said, I just wanted some companionship. I'm just praying for a miracle.
Only about 5% of romance scam cases get reported, but the Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre recommends you file a police report if you or a family member have been the victim of romance fraud. On your side, I'm Pat Foran.
So that's a tragic story. And one of the most telling points is at the end there when they noted that only 5% are reported, and that's for 2 reasons. The most important one is that people are embarrassed that they fell into this, that they were in a vulnerable situation and they agreed to give money to somebody that wasn't trustworthy. And the other point that is important to note is sometimes these acts aren't necessarily illegal. What makes this such a sad situation is people are volunteering to give money to the people in these situations. So how does this happen? Well, generally speaking, the person through your online profile or information they may have obtained through back channels, whether it's your Facebook page or news stories about you that may have been, you may have received a commendation locally and you're in the newspaper, but they use that information to to indicate that they know you or that they have an interest in you. So you can see the people on here. Chad, do you remember me from college? Or Kelly, I wish I could visit, but I can't afford a plane ticket. Or Angelique, my husband is abusive and I need help to leave. Or Eli, I'd love to come see you, but I'm in a lot of debt and I have some, trouble getting out. So, I mean, the first thing that the person's going to say to you is that they may have known you, but you may not remember them. And then pretty soon after that, they may start describing a financially scary situation that they're in, or a situation where they may be in an abusive marriage that they need to leave, or they may be in trouble and owe money to debtors, or they may be sick and they may live in the States where they have to pay for their surgery, or they may need to pay for medical treatment. All of those things are indications that you're talking to someone who's not legitimately interested in you as a partner, or in the person, the victim, as a partner. Another important aspect of it is, generally speaking, not always, but generally, you won't be able to meet the person, and you won't be able to meet the person or see them in person because they're not who their picture indicates. They're somebody else. So there are ways to confirm that. I mean, you can always Zoom with a person directly and see them. You can also ask them to send a picture holding up the day's newspaper or something like that. But there are ways to indicate, and it sounds awkward, but realistically, just saying, look, I'm in a situation, there are situations, unfortunately, where people take advantage of people in these situations, and I want to just make sure you are who you say you are. So some of the signs, just to reiterate, they're in another city or country and you don't meet them in person. They will note that they can't afford to travel you and probably even seek assistance from you to cover the traveling costs. So they'll ask you to send money so they can buy a plane ticket to come visit or get their passport or something like that. And a variation of this includes noting that there's an emergency. I have a sick family member. I have an abusive partner. I'm sick. I need surgery. Those are all possibilities. I'm going to quickly also add the account update scams because it's a very, very quick section. But this is when you receive an email, a text message, or a phone call asking you to update your account. So it may be from Amazon or your bank or your credit card company, and it says, "Dear Amazon customer," or "Attention." But the thing that you have to point out is that they don't use your name in this process. They don't say, "Dear Jeff, your file has been compromised." The message will vary. It may say a payment has failed. It may say there's a problem with an order you made. It may say that your credit card has been compromised, or we've noticed suspicious activity on your account. And you need to update or verify your login or billing information, which involves clicking on a link. And then in that link, you'll be entering in personal information, and the people at the other side of this message will use that personal information against you. So they'll use that to access your bank account or to order things on your Amazon account that you didn't order and send them to them. They'll make online purchases. They'll subscribe to things on your credit card. So one of the things you do yourself in these areas is always to look at what you're paying for, look at your bills. So what else to look for? Well, the greeting is going to be generic because they don't know you. They're going to call you customer or account holder. The email seeks you to log in info such as username or password, personal data like your SIN number, your billing information, and your bank account number. The email may include typos, bad grammar, or misspelling. That's generally because they've probably used, like, these things can be offshore, and they may use something like Google Translate to do it. So it might not sound exactly professional like a company would use, and you're urged to act quickly. Usually in these cases, there's not urgency. So the need to act quickly is a sign that this might not be legitimate. So here's some of the support lines that can be called if you feel that you are a victim of cybercrime or more also important, elder abuse. Cybercrime and elder abuse have a very big overlap, especially the financial abuse of seniors. We wanted to say that this series itself wouldn't be possible without the New Horizons for Seniors program. This program was funded in the 2022-2023 fiscal year by the New Horizons for Seniors program. So we're Very thankful for their support, and none of the things we're doing here, including the on-the-ground work in the community, would be possible without them.